watching right now who maybe they're the stay-at-home mom, maybe they're working professionals, maybe they're in between jobs. Maybe they just feel that their current responsibility, their current circumstances are potentially holding them back from making that big bold move. And just want to give them a little guidance, a little nudge to say, hey, go out there and live your best life. So thank you for sharing that. Alex, you're up, brother man. Hey, listen, one thing, let me tell you a little something about Alex. Alex, let me put you on the big screen real quick. Alex Tabor likes midget wrestling. I'm playing, guys. I'm playing. So I play it. So he really does. But one thing about Alex is we instantly click because we like muscle cars. We're old school blue collar workers. But Alex, he has a desire to win, the tenacity to succeed, and no matter what is thrown Alex's way, he keeps persevering through the obstacles, the adversities. He keeps saying, "You know what? I want it more than I fear it, and I know that everything I want is on the other side of the fear." So Alex recently sold, along with his parents, pieces of a 100-acre farm up in Oklahoma, and he made a big, bold, courageous move to move from Tulsa, Oklahoma, out here to Dallas, Texas, and to pursue his entrepreneur dreams. And on this journey, obviously locking arms with my wife and I, some other brokers. But Alex, what was it about going from being a roughneck blue collar worker to saying, you know what, I want to wear a suit and tie. I want to go from driving a truck to a Mercedes Benz. What was it that made you make that big, bold, courageous move?
Appreciate the time, Coach. Hey, you know what? There comes a time in every man's life where you get sick and tired of being sick and tired. You get tired of busting your knuckles. In my case, as a blue collar mechanic, I was a heavy equipment mechanic for 11 years. Before that, I was a Harley Davidson mechanic for 8 years. I knew nothing about the financial services world, knew nothing about money. And, all I knew was busting my knuckles for a living, turning wrenches, being a grease monkey. And when I was in my youth, it was fun. I didn't mind it. But as we get older, I'm in my mid 30s now. Joints aren't what they used to be. Back's not what they used to be. After 2 heat strokes, I was like, you know what? There's got to be something else out there. And I didn't know what it was. I didn't know if I wanted to get back involved in the sales industry. I didn't know if I wanted to get involved in real estate. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I just know I didn't want to continue living paycheck to paycheck, busting my knuckles, working my butt off, spending little time with family. And that's unfortunately what ended my last relationship. Was I was on the road all the time. I wasn't even home. And I know, Coach Jesse, you're familiar with that as well from your previous relationships. Is it gets to a point where why are we even together? You're never home. And so unfortunately that ended my last relationship because I was gone all the time. I had windshield time. I was servicing a 4-state area, Oklahoma, Missouri, Arkansas, and Kansas, and working on heavy equipment. I was like, I got to be doing something else. There's got to be something else out there. And it wasn't until that my martial arts instructor, because I was heavy in martial arts, I actually fought amateur MMA in Oklahoma.
Oh, whoop your ass.
The Army stuff, technique. But anyway, my master passed away. He was a master in judo, grandmaster in aikido. Passed away unexpectedly. Nobody knew what happened till the funeral, and then the aftermath started to hit his family. And it was his wife having to go back to being a nurse, selling his martial arts studios, selling his truck, selling his motorcycle to pay for the outstanding medical bills and ultimately the funeral costs. The kids had to get jobs. They had to sell their house they just got the year before. They moved to a nice house in Broken Arrow. They could no longer afford it anymore. And I was like, this can't happen to other people like this. These are good people. Why is this happening to them? So that's why I did what everybody does, right? They go out on Facebook. Who is involved in life insurance? And it was a former boss of mine that I worked with at Harley Davidson that reached back out to me. He was like, hey, what do you want to know? I was like, I got to know how to get involved in the industry.
Interesting.
And so who did he connect me with? He ultimately connected me with Jesse Moon, who challenged me, pushed me, got me uncomfortable. And you want somebody in your corner like that that's going to push you to your next level, who sees greatness in you that you may not see yet. And they challenge you. They know where to poke, they know where to push, and you knew where to poke and push and get me to my next and push me to where I need.
Don't tell them too much, bro. Don't tell them too much where I like to poke.
But you jabbed in the right spot, and it got me to get where I'm at today. And I'm grateful for that. I'm always going to be grateful for that, Coach. Continue going to be coachable, teachable, because I know I'm not satisfied currently where I'm at, but I know I'm capable of now teaching others to get to where they want to go. At least get them started. Like, hey, this is the world out there. Open your eyes. It's there. All you got to do is want it. Be hungry for it.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. And thank you for opening up about some personal issues. I didn't know you were going to do that. But I believe everybody watching this right now, they either know someone or outside of their family, or maybe they've experienced it in their own family before, that somebody passed away without having life insurance, without having some sort of protection in place. And everything had to pass through probate, and it wiped their probate court, wiped their family of all the wealth that they were going to inherit. And they didn't have any protection in place, had to become barbecue chicken plate sales statistics or GoFundMe statistics. And it shouldn't have to be that way. And I'll tell you, I'll circle back around to you, honey. And I know you're real big on this topic, that life insurance is a woman's problem, because 80% of men die married and 80% of women die single. So what happens when the man passes away and takes the income away from his wife? Now his wife has to go and figure out a way to supplement that income, and or marry another man to take care of his family. And I'll tell you, honey, listen, I got plenty of life insurance where you never have to marry another man to take care of you or our 7 kids. Okay. So yeah, that's Sancho. It's Sancho, right?
Sancho.
Sancho.
Yeah.
Sancho. No.
No, Sancho's boyfriend. No.
Well, F Sancho. Right. So I will haunt that mofo. But anyway, no. What do you say to people out there that say, "Hey, I'm too young. I don't need life insurance right now," or my husband makes all the decisions. We don't have life insurance, but he makes all the financial decisions. What would you say to that person that's listening?
That's such a scary place to be in, because one, nobody knows what's going to happen in their future. Everybody wants to believe that they're going to go through the rest of their lives healthy, right? Untouchable, unstoppable, but that's just not the case. So I'd say to the young people, insurance to lock in your insurability rate, right? More bang for your buck. You're getting so much more benefits for so much less. Go ahead. And for women,
I was banging, bam, bam.
Oh, and for women, I definitely understand the dynamics that some households have, that the men handle the money, but at the same time, you need to make sure that the man handling the money is making sure he's not just planning for right now, but he's planning for the future. Because what happens when that man is no longer around suddenly, right? Or when that man can no longer provide for the family? Or, in worst case scenario, because let's face it, right? All marriages end 50% in divorce. What happens when that man is gone and you no longer have that? So it's always so important, crucial for women to have financial education, be knowledgeable about money, and always have a solid foundation in place just in case. And I know nobody wants to plan for divorce or have those conversations, but statistically, you got to make sure that you're on solid ground. So that's what I would say. And definitely when that men, you know, they die married, women are dying single. Ladies, you know, we got to make sure our future is solidified, is taken care of. Because I wouldn't want to be, you know, 80 years old having to figure it all out. Like, that's difficult. That's a tough place to be.
Honey, you don't have to worry about that. I am bringing back biblical times. 500 years old. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Even if I'm here in spirit only, it's all right. So, and you can just never mind. I'm not gonna say that tonight.
No,
So,
let's keep it PG,
yeah.
please. PG.
I do
Yeah,
want you, Coach, though, to share with others, because I think it's the best pickup line that you could ever have if you're a single person, of the pickup line that you're giving your sons with the policies that they got in place.
I was about to say, hold on, Alex. Don't set me up. My wife is on here, bro.
No.
Come on, pickup lines.
This was for
Yeah,
your son.
Yeah, 1,000%. And I'm a firm believer that as a man, it is our responsibility to protect our family, take care of our family, not only physically, emotionally, but also, or spiritually, but also financially as well. Because in the Bible, it says a good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children. And we got 5 teenage boys, and I'm pretty sure all of them are going to get married and have kids someday. So what happens is, a couple years ago, me and my wife, we gave our kids the book. They read every book that we read, and during this time, we were rereading Rich Dad Poor Dad. So we bought Rich Dad Poor Dad for all of our kids. They got halfway through it, and they said, "Mom, Dad, we need some assets." So we're like, "Okay, you want some assets? Explain to me what an asset is." They said, "Well, an asset puts money in your pocket." I said, "What's a liability?" They said, "A liability takes money out of your pocket." I said, "Okay, that's a step in the right direction." I said, watch this. It was a video that was showing different asset classes. It was talking about gold and silver and stocks and cash and banks and stock markets and life insurance. And they said, and obviously we're in the life insurance industry. And I said, "Do you like losing?" They said, "No, I don't like losing." I said, "Do you like gaining?" They said, "Yes, I like gaining." I said, "Let's look further into the life insurance policy." So we set them up with a life insurance policy. Now, here's the craziest part. You ready? So we pay for a life insurance policy for them. All of our kids have 2 life insurance policies. Our boys are we're teaching them how to do a 70-30 split. So when they get paid from their job, they immediately take 30% of it and put it inside the life insurance policy. But that policy is not for them. That policy is for their future family. So they're already preparing for their future wife, their future kids before it's even a thought. Does this make sense, guys? Because if they wait till they're 30 and 40 years old to start saving to leave an inheritance, they're already behind the curve. So it's we just want to not only pass wealth on, but we want to, that legacy is not just wealth, but that legacy is the disciplines, the habits, the character, the mindset that we leave within our kids. And I want my boys to teach my grandkids that, and my great grandkids that. And yeah, so my boys are planning for their future spouses now.
Yep. And unfortunately, we've all been taught as middle class America a bad money blueprint. I mean, you say it all the time. It's like we're not taught the proper financial education from our public school system, because 1, they don't want you to know it. But 2, the other person that we have in our lives to rely on finances is our parents. And unfortunately, if they were passed down the wrong information, it just continues to get passed down to us. And there was a post I actually posted earlier. I was watching Myron Golden earlier, and I posted it on Facebook. I'll go back to it because I'm actually referencing it here. Is he said, "We resist the right answers because of where we got the wrong answers from." I was like, "Ooh. Dang, that holds true," because I didn't know anything about money or how money worked or how money grew. I knew how to balance a checkbook, but school didn't teach me that. My dad taught me that. And when's the last time that you wrote a check nowadays?
Yeah.
I don't even carry my wallet. I just have my phone.
Yeah.
I just blink twice. I bat my baby blues and get whatever I want.
But unfortunately, there's nobody out there teaching middle class America other than,
Right.
the proper life insurance agents that are out there. And then, of course, you got the gurus that are, all over social media as well. But who are you listening to? Who is actually in your corner fighting for you to learn the financial knowledge that just you don't find anywhere, because there's not enough licensed agents out there that specialize in this stuff. We went from 500,000 in the industry to what, 180,000 from the 70s to today? That's crazy. Yeah. Meanwhile, you got 7 realtors for every house on the market.
It's crazy.
The insurance industry has done a piss poor job marketing to the younger generations of, hey, real estate's not the only sexy industry out there. You might consider this.
Well, think about this, Alex. Real estate has 3 million active licensed real estate agents. There's less than 500,000 homes for sale on the MLS right now.
Wow.
It's oversaturated, right?
Definitely. It's like car sales.
Think about this. In 2008, the real estate industry had 1.5 million licensed real estate agents. In 2009, 800,000 of those agents left the industry. So if they had 1.5, 800,000 left, that leaves what, 600,000, and now there's 3 million. That means 2.4 million people have never experienced a bad real estate market. They only know the good times.
Yep.
So what do you think is about to happen if the market, inflation and all like, obviously if the economy goes to hell, that's going to hurt everything, right? It's going to hurt real estate. The only industry that's going to survive that and actually thrive during those times is life insurance, because you don't lose when the market drops. Okay. But honey, why is it important to you to make sure our family's protected with life insurance and has the proper financial knowledge to actually grow their money? Why is it important? Because you're a mom of a lot of kids.
Many kids, 7 kids. It's important for me because of my background. Alex alluded to it earlier. We are a blended family. So I was a single mom of 4. And, I was one of those that left the finances and money in the hands of my husband. And, when that relationship ended, I was literally starting from scratch. I didn't have a dime to my name. And so I was at the mercy of trying to scramble now and get a job. And so for me, having our kids know about money and how to make sure they have a solid foundation is just for protection for themselves. So they're always in a good place financially, because I remember being in that situation and immediately, just panicking and thinking, I failed my kids because now I'm in this situation, right? As a parent, you always want to make sure that you can provide for your kids and take care of them. So, and in that instant, I was like, I failed because I didn't do my due diligence before to learn to do better with my money, to prepare for all things. So it's important. Everybody needs financial knowledge, because it's like we tell our clients all the time, right? There's no game that you can win without knowing the rules. So how do you think that you're going to be able to win win the money game if you have no idea how to play? You're out there winging it. And so it starts with education, right? Getting properly educated, knowing the ways money works, money grows, and how to make it work for you. And so that's just really for me, my heart is I just want to make sure I reach people so they can be in a better financial situation. All it takes is one bad experience, one doctor's visit, one, oopsie, and you're in a bad spot. So
Oopsie.
Oopsie.
It reminds me. Oopsie, you just reminded me of Smoke from Mortal Kombat. Oopsies. So.
But you never know when that bad spot's going to occur. I mean, that's just like, why do you have auto insurance? You never know when somebody's going to smack you coming out of the Target parking lot. Well, you never know when you're going to be going to a routine checkup and whoops, they found something. I mean, Coach, every time Coach goes to the doctor, he always tells me, he goes, Cindy made me get another policy.
Well, we have to be sure. I'm one of those that believes in it.
We get a policy before we go to the doctor. If we're experiencing something, we get a policy just in case, because once they diagnose you with something,
That's
it's going to
it.
be tough. It's going to be tough, especially in recent diagnosis. It's going to be tough to get extra life insurance once they diagnose you. So,
Somebody said in the
I
chat, life insurance is not GoFundMe.
yeah, 1000%. And I'm gonna answer Gabriel's answer about PNC in a moment, but I want to go back to what you were saying, Alex. You made a comment about people don't want to listen to it because of who it came from, and I'm going to tell you that I don't believe in generational curses. I just believe in a lack of knowledge that wasn't passed down from generation to generation. And our grandparents couldn't teach our parents what they didn't know. Our parents couldn't teach us what they didn't know. And unfortunately, we live in a society, we live in a country where the thought process of the school board, the board of education, and the political government that runs this country, they don't want you to know how money works. They don't want you to know how money grows. So the fourth wealthiest man in the world says he or she that controls your money controls you and the decisions that you make in your life. And when I started, really unpacking it, and I wanted to know who created the curriculum for the Board of Education, or the curriculum for all these schools, because it doesn't matter what state you go into, they're still teaching the same courses, right? And there's only 5 states that teach financial education, and they teach you how to balance checkbooks. They teach you the basics. Okay. Maybe if you take government econ, they'll teach you about the stock market, stuff like that, but they're not teaching you how to day trade, right? They're not teaching you how to read charts. They're just teaching the baseline about it. But if you date back to 1903 is when John D. Rockefeller donated $1 million to help create and fund the Board of Education. And John D. Rockefeller goes on to say, I don't want a world of thinkers, I want a world of workers. And then he's also famous for creating the old factory bell, right? 8 o'clock in the morning, the bell goes off, it's time to get to work. At 12 o'clock in the afternoon, the bell goes off, it's time for lunch. 5 o'clock in the evening time, the bell goes off, it's time to go home. And think about our school systems. At 8, 9 o'clock, the bell goes off, it's time to start class. At lunchtime, the bell goes off, right? And then at 3:15, the bell goes off, it's time to end the day. They're grooming us to be good workers. Not entrepreneurs, not business owners. Say it one more time.
Who else has a bell? Just like that.
Who?
You know what else has a bell? A bell to go back in your cell. A bell to come out of your cell. A bell to go eat lunch. A bell for going out to the yard. They're grooming you for not only a job, but for prison, just in case you end up there.
A single file line. You can't talk. Face the right direction, or face the same direction.
Don't ask questions. Do what you're told. Man, no wonder I wasn't good at the school thing.
Our youngest son just said, he said, Mom, if I had stayed in a traditional school, I wouldn't be the man I am today. Side, right? Our kids are homeschooled, so they get to be home, and they found their passions and they're pursuing that. And we just had that conversation yesterday. He said, I used to just follow the rules and, just yes, sir, yes, ma'am. He said, but now, I'm confident, I'm strong, I can lead and talk and I lead others. He said, before I wasn't like that. I was just conforming. So I just think that's pretty phenomenal how they can even see the differences in themselves, right? Just from where they were when they were going to school and to who they are now. So yeah, he's 16
and that goes back to Rockefeller. He wanted obedient workers. That's it. No free thinkers, nobody that's going to challenge the norm, nobody that's going to rise up and go against what they're trying to create in their status quo. But what are we doing now? You say it all the time. We're in a poverty war. We're in a poverty war going against the status quo because, unfortunately, that's what's been crammed down our throat. And that's why the middle class today is dying.
What's crazy is when Jesse got started in the industry, I had, no intentions of joining the business. I was in my PhD program. I thought I had my career, right? My route. But immediately when I saw the information, I learned what he was going to be doing. That light bulb just went off. And I knew immediately we needed to implement for ourselves. And I knew the lack. And I caught it right immediately. I was like, man, we're behind. We need to, and we started game planning. Like, this is what we got to do. So for me, when I'm listening to people, and the presentations are very simple, right? Because we want to make sure Money 101. When I see people just refusing to take this information and to see the value for what it is, man, that blows my mind. I'm just like, how did you not catch that? How do you not catch
They'd rather
that?
go ask their broke uncle for advice on how to become a multimillionaire than asking the multimillionaire.
That's
They'd
another
rather
thing.
go ask their Aunt Susan, who's a they'd rather go ask their Aunt Susan, who's a high school administrator, how to change the tire on a car than to ask an actual mechanic.
So check
Because
this
why?
out.
Because they love their family.
You've probably noticed this too, Coach, is people are afraid. They put millionaires in a box, right? They think, oh, they're high and mighty. I can't approach them. I can't talk to them. They're going to be all hoity-toity. They're not going to talk to me. They're going to talk down to me. And the more I get involved in the circles around the wealthy, whether it's playing golf with them, whether it's, going out to the shooting range with them, whether it's going hunting with them, whatever, they're just people. They're just like you and me. They put their pants on one leg at a time, just like everybody else does. And the majority of them, most of them, they have social media. They're trying to help others get to where they're at, but not everybody wants to listen. Everybody's got the middle class mindset, as you called it. And they're like, oh, it's a scam. Oh, it's a Ponzi scheme. Oh, that's this, that's that. In reality, it's like, here's the steps. All you got to do is ask. And
Alex, there's two different types of millionaires, and I think people confuse the two. So in the mid 80s, there was a book that was the #1 book in the world next to the Holy Bible called The Millionaire Next Door.
Yep.
And in this book, the millionaire next door was the high school and college graduate, the working professional, climbed up the corporate ladder, came the CEO. The house with the white picket fence was like Forrest Gump's house with the tire swing in the front yard. That was the American dream. That's what they tried to paint a picture. Go to college, go to work for 40 hours per week for 40 years for 40% retirement. That was the dream. Robert Kiyosaki shake things up the next year with the book Rich Dad Poor Dad, which was 180% opposite of The Millionaire Next Door, because his rich dad in the book was an entrepreneur, which was his friend's father. His father was a college professor. He was the broke dad. So it kind of shook things up. So when anytime I meet a CEO, somebody that got all their wealth from climbing up the corporate ladder by stepping on everybody else, yes, I have found them to be stuck up. I have found them to be kind of snobbish, look down on others. But anytime I have met an entrepreneur who started from scratch and built it on their own by helping people, by bringing value to people, those people are kind, generous, and they're just like you. As long as they can always remember where they came from, the power of broke. Does that make sense? How it's two different types of millionaires out there?
Yep.
100%.
But I'm 1000% with you, Alex. And I'm looking at somebody here today. It doesn't matter who you are. You're ready to give birth to somebody, something, a titan, I don't know, a dream. You just got to make a decision. And those people you love that you stick on a pedestal so much, your friends, your family, your auntie, your uncle, God didn't give them the vision he gave you. So don't let their opinions hold you back from stepping into your greatness. Because if you do, my friend, your hairline is going to look like mine. And you don't want that. I'm playing, guys. I'm playing. So yes. So let me answer this question, guys. From Gabriel. Gabriel, I remember you, brother. I just had to put one and one together, make two, right? So I remember you. We met at you said Latin America Association for Insurance Agencies. I remember that. That was at the beginning of the year. He says, I currently own a PNC agency, does about 2.5 million in premium per year. And he says his question was, let me throw it up here. Where we at? Where we at? How, as a PNC agency, can grow their life insurance line of business? Listen, it's two different worlds. It's two different worlds. Okay. Obviously, if you're doing $2.5 million in premium per year, you've built up a substantial clientele base. The first thing I would tell you to do if you wanted to add life insurance to your portfolio is you already have leads. You already got your current clients. Just further service them with products. So you like protecting their property, you like protecting their cars. Now you want to protect their life. It's just if you've built a relationship with your actual clients and you became family with them, not just another PNC agent, then they will trust you. They will do business with you and say, hey, I just got into the life side. I can further bring value to you and your family. I would like to sit and talk. So it's that simple. And Gabriel, you obviously know you can already reach out, bro. If you're looking for a home, let me know. Let me know. Right? Because ultimately it's just about getting your life license, which I think you already have, and then learning how to market that. So you can we even have PNC agency owners that are partnering with us in business. They keep PNC totally separate than their life division. And then eventually they may bring it together, but they keep it totally separate. They do their PNC over here, they do their life over here. Okay. So that's an option for you.
And if you don't have
Cool.
a system in place, because system, you're able to scale a lot easier whenever you have the right systems in place. Jesse has a great system that's an all-in-one CRM system. You can integrate both your PNC and your life and keep track of everything. So if that's something, reach out to Jesse Moon. He can help you get that all set up as well. But we deal with a lot of people even in real estate. And I know Jesse and Cindy, they have some real estate agents on their team as well. But if you're in real estate, obviously, again, you've already got the leads, you've got the clientele, you've got the relationships. Guys, offering them additional service. You put them in the house of their dreams, now help them keep that house of their dreams in case life throws them a curveball.
That's right. That's right. Honey, what do you want to say to all the educators watching this today? Because I know one thing, honey, I'll tell you, is I blame everything on educators. Because they're the ones teaching the no, seriously. I'm playing, but I'm not playing. I'm playing, but I'm not playing. Hold on, let me finish my thought, babe. Listen, I know you're about to roast me. I understand that, but let me finish. Because I'm playing, but I'm not playing. I understand teachers have to teachers have to pay their bills.
No, and there's a curriculum.
However, and there's a curriculum that they have to teach, but they still choose to teach it. They understand that they're just passing these kids through. Like, why does my kid have to learn how to play a recorder? Like, what the hell is that for? Why are they teaching our kids taxes? Why are they teaching our kids money habits? Why aren't they teaching our kids character discipline? Why aren't they teaching our kids how to go out there and do something physical that they're taking physical fitness out of schools?
Yep.
Right? I blame the school curriculum, but it's the teachers that are actually volunteering to teach this stuff just for a paycheck. And you remember this, babe. It pissed me off. We were in Corpus Christi, Texas. You were teaching at the middle school. I want to say it was Brown Middle School. And I went and I had lunch with you one day, and the top science teacher there, I said, man, I've been eating, but you keep complaining about these kids. He says, yeah, I'm just giving it 50% effort. I said, why, if you volunteered to be these teachers, you know it's not about the pay. So you're coming here giving these kids 50% effort, and you know what his response was? Do you remember? If I give 100%, they'll just give me more responsibilities. I'll have to do somebody else's job. I said, you ought to be ashamed of yourself because you're failing the freaking kids. Now I know, babe. I know.
Failing system.
I love you, honey.
And you also know that there's a lot of politics involved in education, which is why a lot of the good teachers do get burnt out, do get exhausted for trying to do all the right things, but lack all the support and lack all the respect. There's a lot of parents that don't parent anymore. And I'm going to say that to all you parents who believe that your precious angel child would never act a certain way at school.
Parents, you should be ashamed of yourself.
Parents, start parenting, right? But
Teachers are not daycare. They are teachers.
Nope.
right. And so you've got what happens is you have a lot of really great teachers trying to do their job, but you've got a lot of pushback as well. So I have a lot of friends that are still in education, and they are phenomenal teachers, some of the best people that I know. And they love what they do. They love their kids, their students, but it gets difficult because you do have a lot of politics involved. And a lot of teachers, you have to be very careful about what you say and what you do. You just do. Like all this new agenda pushing for like he, she, they, whatever's going on. Like
Don't forget Furbies. You got to put a litter box in the corner.
Think about this, babe. Like we already know 90% of teachers are Democrats. 90% of teachers are Democrats. Did you see the study that came out? There was an interview with a high school principal. I want to say it was in California. He said when he interviews teachers, he asks questions. If he finds out they're a Republican, they don't hire them.
Well, it's California, so.
It was California.
I don't care what state it is.
I'm saying, but you kind of expect it from California, right?
Well, listen, and this is to all my veterans out there. I just want to let you know that when you raised your right hand, you swore to protect the Constitution of the United States against enemies, foreign and domestic. You might want to get ready, guys. You might want to get ready. But anyway,
Hitting a lot
I've been here for 39 minutes.
Hitting a lot of buttons today.
How many George Carlin fans, or how many of you out there remember George Carlin? You probably remember George Carlin, right?
No, tell me about him.
You don't remember George Carlin, the comedian? So one of his last performances,
No,
he was
I don't
talking.
laugh too much, bro.
I laugh all the time. I love comedy.
That's that video I shared of him that said about the obedient workers.
No, well, there was that one, but in the same performance, he was talking about the education system and how failing it was, because he was like, "Do you remember when the Clinton? I think it was correct me if I'm wrong, chat group, but it was, I believe it was the Clinton administration, where he was like, we're giving everybody a head start. We're doing a Head Start program, Head Start in education." And then the Bush administration took over, and then they were like, the No Child Left Behind. We can't leave them behind. No child left behind. Head Start, left behind. Somebody's losing some ground here. And nobody takes any responsibility over it. There's like, they'll figure it out. Then you go start looking into the textbooks and stuff that they're teaching out of, and it's like copyright 1973. Why are we still using this?
Well, I mean, they're teaching. California is doing some crazy stuff with their sex ed books. It's like 2040, like boy on boy, girl on girl. Why are you teaching a third grader that stuff?
Why are you allowing kids to come to school dressed as cats and pee in the litter box in the back of the classroom? Because they say they're a cat.
If I pee in the street where there's other people around, I'm going to jail. But you're going to let a kid do that?
You're going to get a sexual charge put against you that's going to follow you the rest of your life.
I'm not going to say it. But that also leads into why people need resources, so they have options, right? Because when you have resources to make real decisions, like whatever's happening in the schools, our kids are not part of that. We didn't want part of that. We made the decision to keep our kids. And so, they're not experiencing any of that. So the importance of creating more income, being able to really take control of your life, not letting everybody else bully you, right? Because I'm not a fan of bullies. I believe that's one of a primary reasons why I believe that people need the know-how about money, so they can get their money right, and so nobody can ever take advantage of them, right? And so when you leave your money and your resources so little, or you have at the mercy of the government, right? Now your kids are also at the mercy of whatever is happening. You're allowing the situation, your financial situation, to dictate how you raise your kids. Who's got influence on your kids? Who's talking to your kids every single day? Who has access to them? So for all my moms and dads out there, like if you don't like what's happening, but yet you sit on the sidelines and you do nothing to change the situation, it's your fault. You're not taking that responsibility and accountability, right? Because
Ooh,
Yeah.
you said a bad word.
because
said
you
the
make
A
those
word.
decisions. You make those decisions.
Nobody
gotta-
wants to be held accountable anymore nowadays, Coach.
I know, I see it all the time. But it's really what it is, right? If you want better, you have to be better. You have to do better. So, and the great thing is no matter where you are in life right now, it can change. You have to make the decision to commit and then just get it done. Jesse and I, when we got started in the industry, we had zero experience. I was a teacher. I was in a PhD program for psychology because that was my path, I thought. Jesse was in the military, master's degrees, right? But when we decided to do this, we had no experience. And not only did we not have experience, there was no such thing as Zoom for us at the time for business. We literally had to build and learn from the ground up. Then that took more time and energy and effort from us. I was still working full time. I was completing that semester. We have all of our kiddos and we were building the business. But you know what we didn't do? Didn't say, I'm too tired. I don't have time. We've got kids. So when we bring people on and those are the excuses, that gets on my nerves. It really does.
You gotta pay.
Well, Dave,
If you don't want to pay that
we're-
price, let somebody like us pay the price, and we'll rise up to become who we're supposed to be, who God meant us to be, and we'll be the leaders of this world.
And do.
Yeah. So as we begin to wrap up, guys, babe, I just want to let you know that, listen, there's 350 million people in the population of the United States of America. Every one of them was put on this earth to become more, to be more, to do more abundantly. I believe that we're all here to win, to succeed in life, but we all have a choice. The problem why most people quit on themselves, their friends, their families, people that are counting on them, is because they're not clear on where they're going. They're too busy in their phones. They're too busy scrolling on TikTok, watching other people dance, and they're living their life through other people. I just want to let each and every one of you know, if someone's on the TikTok, on the Facebook, and they're driving Lambos and mansions, it's probably a fake facade, guys. They're probably renting those things. Okay? That's not their true life. I've been in this industry for 6 years. I've sat with multimillionaires and they're broke. Multiple seven-figure earners living paycheck to paycheck, but they look like they're living the dream online. Stop comparing yourself to other people. God gave you a purpose. Go fulfill your freaking purpose and F anybody that doesn't support you and bring value to you. Guys, any last words before we hop off, before I make a closing statement?
I got two. I mean, goes back to what you just said. Stop comparing your chapter 3, your chapter 4, your chapter 5 to somebody else's chapter 37. Don't work that way. Start writing your own story. And like Cindy said, you can change it anytime you want. It's your life. You only get one. I'm going to let you know a little secret here. You're not going to get out alive. You only get one shot, so make something of it. And lead your freaking families. I'm tired of seeing these pathetic freaking men nowadays wanting to be best friends with everybody. Be a leader. Become better. We need more men in this world.
That's right.
I'm sure Cindy can add to that. I mean, our pastor speaks about it every single Sunday. We need more men in this world. We need more men in this world. We need more. And women, you'll be the first ones to say it. Where are the freaking men at? I'm a single guy, so I see it on a lot of these dating sites and stuff. Where are the real men at? Are there any real men left in the world? Well, it doesn't really look like there's that many.
My closing statement is your life is completely in your control. Just make a decision that you want better and take massive action. And 2, stop living and moving scared. There have been so many times where I had to make a move or a transition in my life, and it's terrifying because change is always scary. But every time that I've taken that leap of faith, God has always met me there and blessed me abundantly for being obedient. So even if it's scary, do it anyways. Do it
Get out of your
scared,
comfort zone.
do it unsure, because God blesses those that answer the call. So that's it.
Virgo,
Yes,
where are the
so-
real gentlemen at? The real gentlemen are still waiting to be born because there's not men teaching them how to be a gentleman anymore. That's where they're at.
That's it. And as we wrap up, I just want to thank you guys for taking the time to hop on here with me. But my last word that I want to give to you guys is I want to talk about taking down the Goliaths in your life. Many of you already know the story of David and Goliath, but each and every one of you, you're facing your own Goliath in your life here today. No matter what it is, you don't have to tell me what it is, but I want to let you know that make a decision to be strong enough, to push long enough, hard enough, and you're going to get to where you want to go. And the story many of you are familiar with, uh, every one of you, you have a destiny. You have a destiny. Let me pronounce it. Destiny in your life. And that Goliath is standing there. And you're looking that Goliath in the eyes and you're scared and you're terrified because it's the unknown that you're going to have to walk through. It's the hot rocks you're going to have to walk over. It's the unfamiliar that you're going to have to go into. And I just want to tell you that it's okay. I want to tell you, you got to be bold. You got to be courageous. You got to surround yourself with other people that's going to be resources. It's going to add value to your life. That's going to help you walk through that fire. That's going to help you walk over those hot coals and give you that courage to rise up above all the enemies, above all the Goliaths that's going to come up. And you're going to reach that mountaintop, that pinnacle, and you're going to spread your wings and you're going to soar amongst the eagles. Guys, if David, a little kid, ran out into the crowd with a slingshot or a rope back then and three little stones, and he took Goliath down, guys. If that can happen, you can do anything you want in this life. And as long as you keep Jesus Christ at the center of everything, I want to let each and every one of you know you're going to be a boss. But with that being said, thank every one of you for hopping in here tonight. Let us know in the comments. Let us know in the comments what value we added to your life today, and what would you like to hear us talk about next time. With that being said, good night. God bless. Go out there and crush it and become that titan you were meant to be.
Joshua 1:9, God built you to be strong and courageous.